Close your eyes for a second. Can you feel it? The warmth of the sun on your skin, the faint scent of salt in the air, the gentle hum of a simple melody playing somewhere in the distance. Suddenly, you're not just sitting on your couch, you're there. You're in Cousins Beach, a place that feels more like a state of mind than a location on a map. This is the magic woven by the hit series, The Summer I Turned Pretty, a story that has captured our hearts and dominated our summer nights. At its center is Isabel Belly Conklin, a girl caught between two constants in her life, the thoughtful, brooding Conrad Fisher and his charming, sun-kissed brother, Jeremiah. For 2 seasons, we've asked the same question, debated it online, and held our breath waiting for the answer. Whom will she choose? This summer, we finally got our answer. The much-anticipated 3rd season dropped on July 16th, and for 2 months, our Wednesday nights were sacred, reserved for our weekly pilgrimage back to Cousins. We came for the romance, the drama, and let's be honest, the eye candy, but we stayed for the raw, relatable heart of the story. When we meet Belly again, it's not the summer after the last. A jarring 4-year time jump thrusts us into her junior year of college, and the nostalgic summer glow is instantly extinguished. We learn that Jeremiah, her steady boyfriend, slept with someone else during spring break. The news doesn't just sting, it shatters the idyllic world Belly had built. This single act of betrayal becomes the catalyst for an emotional odyssey that defines the entire season, forcing every character to confront the messy, complicated reality of love and life. While Belly is navigating the wreckage of her relationship, her best friend Taylor and brother Stephen are caught in their own tumultuous on and off romance, a poignant parallel to the central love triangle. The stakes are violently raised when a sudden car accident leaves Stephen badly injured. In that heart-stopping moment, life's fragility becomes terrifyingly clear. Shaken to his core, a desperate and emotional Jeremiah breaks down, confessing his undying love and regret before impulsively proposing to Belly. In a move that sent shockwaves through the fandom, she accepts. For some, it was a grand romantic gesture, proof of their powerful connection. But for many others, it felt wrong. We watched, frustrated, as Belly seemed to betray herself, trading her self-respect for a flawed sense of security. We see a painful deviation from the Belly we've grown to love. The hopeless romantic was still there, but her world had shrunk, becoming entirely centered on her relationship. The girl who once had a vibrant community now seemed to rely solely on Jeremiah for her happiness and validation. It felt like a step backward, a deliberate narrative choice to highlight the cracks in their foundation and show us that this picture-perfect love was anything but. Even as she wore Jeremiah's ring, the ghost of her connection with Conrad lingered. In a now iconic scene, Conrad and Belly share a peach, and the air crackles with unspoken history. For the first time since that magical Christmas, we see Conrad's physical affection for her, a gentle touch that speaks volumes. The soft melody of the Rolling Stones' Wild Horses plays, the lyrics whispering the truth of his heart, "Wild horses couldn't drag me away." It was a promise. No matter how much time passed or how far he went, his love for Belly was a permanent fixture. And you could see it on her face, a part of her was feeling it, too, a truth she was desperately trying to ignore as her wedding day approached. The universe, it seems, kept pushing them together. During a surfing accident, Conrad injures his leg, and Belly instinctively rushes to his side. The intimate moment, with their faces inches apart and sunlight streaming through the windows, is electric. Their chemistry is undeniable, a raw nerve exposed. For Belly, it's a moment of terrifying clarity. What just happened? What did I almost do? She asks herself, finally admitting to us, and perhaps to herself, that her feelings are no longer under her control. Her commitment to Jeremiah was fracturing. The tension finally boils over in a heated, gut-wrenching confrontation. There are tears, screams, and confessions of love that have been buried for far too long. Seeing the undeniable truth, Jeremiah calls off the wedding. In the quiet aftermath of the storm, Belly has a profound realization: her entire identity has been defined by her relationship with the Fisher brothers. She wasn't just Belly, she was Belly and Conrad, or Belly and Jeremiah. To truly find herself, she had to leave the boy and the beach behind. In a radical act of self-love, Belly chooses herself. Instead of a wedding, she chooses Paris. She chooses to rediscover her passions, her hobbies, and her friends. She allows herself fleeting romances and the simple joy of being on her own. It's a powerful, refreshing arc in a genre that so often ties a woman's worth to her romantic fate. After nearly a year abroad, a more mature, self-assured Belly reunites with Conrad in Paris, and she can finally admit the truth. Grounded in her own identity, she still loves him. Fears die hard. It's only when they can both confess their love for each other, free from the weight of their past and Susanna's expectations, that they can truly move forward. But just as they find their footing, Conrad is on his way to Brussels. In a scene that will go down in TV history, Taylor Swift's Out of the Woods begins to play as Belly runs to him. Swift's lyrics narrate their entire journey. Remember when we couldn't take the heat? I walked out, I said, I'm setting you free, but the monsters turned out to be just trees. When the sun came up, you were looking at me. The performances from Lola Tung and Christopher Briney are breathtaking, capturing a love that feels both epic and completely real. The season was more than just a show, it was a global event, inspiring countless TikTok edits and weekly watch parties. It reminded us of the profound power of persistent love, not just for another person, but for yourself. Conrad and Belly stumbled, they fell, and they broke our hearts, but in the end, the tide always carried them back to each other. As summer fades, they run back to cousins, together and whole at last. And with the announcement of a new movie, it seems we'll all get to go back with them.